Husbandry training is training our animals to voluntarily participate in their own daily care. It's helpful for us to be able to diagnose a problem, but it's also really important to be proactive about their health and not wait until there's a problem.
We are currently training Aurora. She is a 9.5-year-old moose. She'll be 10 this coming May.
Aurora.
Right now she's doing shape recognition training. If we have multiple trainers, we can send the moose from one trainer to another. They'll know which location to respond to. Right now we're doing target trainings. The animal is trained to touch their nose to the target. And that helps with body placement. If we need them to move to different locations, they'll know to follow that target with their nose. And we can get them to move their body around. We're gonna work on some tactile touches. And so we'll touch on the nose, and then eye.
Good.
The ear. Be able to look in there.
No, ma'am.
Neck.
Good.
Right now I'm just pretending like I'm feeling for her jugular vein, which is how we would do a blood draw. I have a fake apparatus. Poke.
Okay.
She wasn't real sure about that one.
We strive to have animals participate in their own care because it makes everyone's lives easier. The animals are in control, they know what to expect, they know they'll be positively reinforced for doing so. It's a lot less stressful on us to know that we have that relationship with the animal where we can ask them to do something uncomfortable on occasion. Usually it's stressful to ask them to do something that might make them uncomfortable, like receiving a vaccine or something like that. So if they know what's coming and that they know immediately afterward they'll have some positive reinforcement, like a treat, they're more willing to participate. And it's a lot less stressful, certainly, than coming in with a dart or something where we're chasing them around. We certainly want to avoid that wherever we can.
Moose are actually my favorite animal, so this is like kind of a dream come true to be able to say that I'm one of the veterinarians for the moose here. Having behavioral husbandry and training really helps limit the amount of times that we have to anesthetize an animal. Of course, that's something we do all the time here at the zoo and can definitely do it safely, but anesthesia always comes with risks. So time under anesthesia is something that we really like to limit. So the more we can do with an animal awake and participating is always really exciting for us. One of the things that we can do, especially in our older animals, animals like Aurora as she gets older, might develop kind of degenerative problems such as kidney disease or gastrointestinal disease. And a lot of times we like to do follow-up blood tests to see how the kidney values are progressing or to see how her GI tract is functioning in digesting or absorbing certain minerals. And so if we can get blood samples while an animal is awake rather than having to fully anesthetize them for that, that's much safer. And in addition, when animals are less stressed, a lot of our blood parameters are much more normal. We don't have to kind of consider the effects of anesthesia on those blood parameters, making things much easier for us to interpret, making things much calmer, less stressful, and safer for the animal. Aurora did have what we think was an ear infection, so we were able to treat that with her completely awake and participating in her own medical care. She presented her ear for us and we were able to actually insert an antibiotic ointment into her ear, just like you would with a dog or a cat at home, and resolve that problem without having to anesthetize her or move to anything more invasive.
We try to prioritize husbandry training for the animals that we interact with the most, so specifically mammals. That doesn't mean that fish or birds are exempt. We do train with them, just not to the same extent as we might with the mammals. We're heading in that direction though. We are working on training our sand tiger sharks for ultrasound. We want to be able to diagnose a pregnancy someday. We're working on training birds for voluntary crate behavior, so that if we ever need to take one from one location to another, whether that's outside to inside or from inside down to a hospital visit, that they can do that on their own.